You don't need to wear a crown to carry glory. When you truly carry presence, the signs will follow you without a word. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something shift before a single word was spoken? Have you ever faced a storm that should have broken you, yet somehow you stood firm with a peace that made no sense? A sign that you carry something deeper, something sacred, something not of this world. In this video, we're diving into 7 undeniable signs that you carry the presence. A presence that changes atmospheres, transforms hearts, and gives you strength when everything else falls apart. And here's the beauty of it. These signs might already be showing up in your life, even if you haven't realized it yet. This isn't just motivation, it's not hype. It's a call to recognize what's been growing inside you, all because by the end of this video, you won't just be inspired. You'll be reminded of who you are, what you carry, and why your presence on this earth matters more than ever. When everything around you seems to fall apart, bills are due, relationships are strained, health is under attack, doors keep closing and confusion fills the air, yet somehow you remain still inside. That is not ordinary. That's not just self-control or maturity. That's something deeper. It's an unshakable peace that cannot be explained by circumstances, logic, or emotions. It's the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to others looking in, because everything in your life may scream panic, but your heart whispers trust. You carry something within that calms the storms around. People around you may feel the weight of anxiety, fear, and uncertainty, but when you walk into the room, something shifts. The atmosphere realigns. Not because you speak louder or because you have all the answers, but because you've learned to be anchored where others drift. You know how to find rest, not in the absence of trouble, but in the middle of it. And that's a sign of something greater at work inside you. This peace doesn't mean you don't feel the pressure. It doesn't mean you never cry, or worry, or wonder why. It means that even when those emotions come, they don't take over. They don't rule. There's a deeper current flowing beneath the waves. You have this quiet assurance that no matter how loud the storm is, it's not stronger than what lives in you. You've tasted this peace in moments where others would have broken, when everything told you to give up, something told you to hold on. And not just hold on desperately, but confidently, knowing that the storm has a limit, but what you carry doesn't. This unshakable peace can't be faked. It's not about pretending everything is fine. In fact, sometimes the tears still fall, the voice still trembles, the hands still shake. But even in that, there's a stillness that holds you together. A stillness that tells your soul, you're not alone, you're not forgotten, you're not finished. This peace teaches you to breathe when anxiety tries to suffocate you. It teaches you to walk forward when fear screams to run away. It reminds you that your strength doesn't come from how well you control things, but from how well you trust what you cannot see. And what's powerful is this peace isn't just for your benefit. Others catch it from you. They see your calm, and it challenges their chaos. They ask, how are you still standing? And sometimes you don't even have words. You just know you're held. You just know something inside you refuses to let go. You just know that even in the middle of the fire, you're not burning up. Even in the middle of the fire, you're not drowning. And sometimes that alone preaches louder than a sermon. You've been through what should have broken you, but peace carried you. You faced what should have defeated you, but peace protected you. You've walked through shadows and valleys, and somehow your mind stayed intact. Your spirit stayed strong, and your hope stayed alive. That's not coincidence. That's not just resilience. That's the mark of one who carries something the world can't offer. Something deeper, something eternal, something holy. There's a kind of joy that doesn't wait for good news. It doesn't need a raise, a breakthrough, or a perfect day to show up. This joy is different. It's steady in the storm, alive in the valley, and loud even when life tries to silence it. It doesn't rise and fall with emotions or circumstances. It flows from a well that never runs dry. That kind of joy is not happiness. Happiness depends on what's happening, but this joy, it depends on who you're connected to. You can carry this joy even with tears in your eyes. It's the smile that breaks through grief. It's the laugh that comes in the middle of pressure. It's the strength that rises when everything around you feels heavy. And people around you won't understand it. They'll think you're in denial. They'll wonder how you're still lifting your hands, still showing up, still choosing to praise. But it's because something inside you refuses to let the fire steal your song. That's how joy works. It becomes your resistance to despair. This joy is rooted in something deeper than the moment. You've tasted disappointment. You've walked through waiting seasons. You've prayed prayers that didn't get answered the way you wanted, and yet, your joy didn't die. It matured. It no longer comes from the surface. It comes from the soil of your faith. And it shows. You don't need everything to go right to feel light. You carry light. You don't need a perfect life to feel grateful. You've learned how to rejoice in the middle, not just at the end. What makes this joy powerful is that it becomes contagious. It reaches others without you saying a word. You walk in with it, and the atmosphere begins to shift. Heavy hearts start to lift. Fear begins to lose its grip. Not because you're pretending life is easy, but because you've decided not to let life define your joy. You carry something within that can't be taken by a bad report or shaken by a long night. And when people ask why you still have joy, the answer is not in what you have, it's in who has you. That's the kind of joy that becomes your strength, the kind that sings even when there's no music, the kind that shines in the dark, the kind that proves you're not just surviving, you're walking with something eternal. There's something unmistakable about a person who walks in love, that goes beyond what's natural. It's not just about being nice or polite. It's deeper than manners or social kindness. This kind of love moves you to embrace people others avoid. It draws you to those who can give you nothing in return. It allows you to forgive when revenge feels more justified. It calls you to let go when holding on to offense would feel easier. This love is not weak. It's the strongest force you carry. You can tell when someone lives from this place. They don't just tolerate others. They honor them. They don't love with conditions or keep score. They love even when it costs, even when it hurts. And not because they always feel like it, but because something inside them pushes them to choose love again and again. It's a love that doesn't make sense to the world, a love that breaks generational bitterness, a love that reaches across lines that divide, a love that refuses to let hatred have the final word. People can sense it when this kind of love is present. They may not understand it, but they feel it. It softens hard hearts. It disarms tension. It changes the temperature in the room. You walk into spaces with this love, and without saying a word, healing begins. Reconciliation starts. Hope rises. And it's not because you're trying to be impressive. It's because you're carrying something that can't stay hidden, something that flows from a source deeper than feelings or mood or personality. There are moments when this love will stretch you. It will ask you to love when you're exhausted, to serve when you'd rather be silent, to extend grace when you'd rather turn away. But every time you do, something powerful is released, not just in others, but in you. Because every act of love is a reflection of what's working within you. Every choice to forgive, every word of encouragement, every time you step into someone else's pain, you reveal that your life is not being led by offense, pride, or fear. It's being led by something greater. And when you love like that, the world notices. Because that kind of love is rare. That kind of love is divine. That kind of love is a sign that you don't walk alone. There's a wisdom that doesn't come from books, degrees, or years of experience. It's the kind that speaks with clarity when others are confused. It discerns motives when words sound right but the heart is off. It knows when to speak and when to stay silent. When you carry something greater within, your decisions aren't just based on what makes sense to the mind. They're led by what resonates in your spirit. You see beyond the surface. You hear what others miss. You pick up on things that haven't even been said. That's not guessing or instinct. That's insight that flows from presence. This kind of discernment keeps you from falling into traps. It helps you avoid relationships that look good but aren't good for you. It shields you from deception, from manipulation, from moving ahead when you're supposed to wait. It's like carrying a compass in a fog. Others are stumbling, but you still know where to go. Not because you're smarter, but because you're being guided. And what makes this so powerful is that it doesn't just help you, it helps others. You speak a word, give a warning, offer a perspective, and suddenly someone else's confusion clears. You don't just carry truth, you carry timing. This wisdom shows up in your daily life, in how you respond to offense, in how you lead your family, in how you navigate hard seasons. People may not always understand your decisions, but later they'll see why you moved the way you did, because you weren't reacting, you were being led. You weren't just trying to win arguments, you were trying to walk in alignment. And that kind of discernment is a sign that you carry something holy, something weighty, something not of this world. There's a certain glow about someone who carries something sacred within. It's not about fashion, status, or charm. It's something deeper. You walk into a room, and even without saying a word, people notice. Some feel peace. Some feel convicted. Some can't explain it, but they know there's something different about you. It's not because you're trying to impress anyone. It's because light can't hide itself. What you carry is too real, too pure, too powerful to stay unnoticed. This radiance isn't just about being likable or popular. In fact, sometimes it draws resistance. Darkness is uncomfortable around light. But even in that, your presence speaks. It reveals what's hidden. It stirs what's asleep. People may not always like it, but they can't ignore it. And the truth is, it's not even about you. It's about who is alive in you. The glow comes from a place of surrender, from secret places of prayer, from choosing character over convenience, from walking humbly when pride would have been easier. You might not even be aware of how deeply it affects others. A simple word from you calms someone's anxiety. A quiet prayer you whispered begins to shift things in someone's life. Just being near you makes people feel safe, seen, and sometimes even uncomfortable in their compromise. That's the mark of someone who carries something more than personality. It's the effect of living in alignment with something greater than yourself. And when you carry that, you don't need a platform or a microphone to make impact. Your life becomes the message. Your presence becomes the evidence. Your walk becomes the testimony that the sacred doesn't just visit you, it lives in you. There's a strength that rises when your natural strength runs out. It shows up in the moments you feel weakest, most exhausted, and ready to quit. You've experienced it. The kind of strength that carries you through what should have crushed you. When others look at your life and wonder how you're still standing, you know the truth. You didn't do it alone. You've been held together by something greater than willpower or grit. This strength doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from leaning deeper. It comes when you stop relying on your own ability and draw from a well that never runs dry. You've walked through seasons that felt like breaking points. Nights when the tears wouldn't stop. Days when the pressure felt unbearable, and somehow grace met you there. Not the kind that removes the struggle, but the kind that sustains you in it. You still showed up. You still prayed. You still served. You still loved. And it wasn't because you had the energy, it was because strength rose up in your surrender. You reached the end of yourself and found that was the beginning of something greater. This strength doesn't shout or demand attention. It's quiet, steady, and faithful. It holds you up when everything around you is falling apart. It gives you the courage to keep forgiving, to keep believing, to keep building, even when nothing seems to be changing. Others may not see the battle, but they see your resilience. They see your peace. They see your endurance. And whether they know it or not, what they're really seeing is a life carried by presence, a strength that doesn't make sense, a power made perfect in weakness, a sign that you're not just walking through life, you're being carried through it.